Hi, my name is Midori. I am a second year teacher candidate at the University of Ottawa. Now that we are all practicing social isolation, I thought maybe I could help in this way. And so, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to share some of the amazing things that I've learned from my teachers and share that with you. So, first off, with fractions, which used to be my arch enemy when I was an elementary school student. So we'll see how it goes. So this is going to be low tech. I'm at home. I am not an expert with videography, so we'll see how this goes. And please bear with me. So with fractions, so fraction, which my teacher should have told me, is that's when I was an elementary school student myself, is that it is one way to represent a relationship with the whole, with its parts. So when I was an elementary school student, my teacher said, well, I have an apple. I cut an apple in half. Now I have two halves. And then I cut the two halves into halves. And then we have four pieces of 1/4 pieces of an apple. And I thought, well, I see four separate pieces. What is this 1/4 thing? I was very confused. So one thing we could try to do is try to actually say, you know what, you as a master manipulator of numbers, you can decide what the whole should be. So one way that we could do this is with Lego pieces. I unfortunately do not own any Lego pieces, so I will show you some pictures and see how that goes, and I will try to do that on the whiteboard to share. So, for example, one way you could do it is to actually give your students and show the half and say, you know what, this is your whole. And say, you know what, use as many Lego pieces as possible and actually make as many fractions as possible. So, for example, it could look like this. You can make as many different fractions using Lego pieces. It's going to be really fun. Or you can do other Lego pieces. Okay, now a different sized whole, because you're deciding what the whole should be. And you can say, you know what? Now I'm making different fractions using that. That would be one way. So, but now the question is, how can you actually compare fractions? So that's when you use area model, which is going to be lots of fun. So my low-tech explanation, let's see how it goes. Okay, so comparing fractions. Okay, so let's say we are comparing fractions. If we can represent fractions using different models, but if I say, you know what, this is my 3/4, and let's say this is my 2/3, can you compare these two? Nah, it's going to be really tricky. And what if I say, you know what, then I would do rectangles. What if I say, okay, this is my 5/6, please pretend this is perfectly equal, and this is my 3/4. This is my 3/4. This is my 5/6. Can you compare these two? No. Why not? Because for this and this, and this and this, the whole is of a different size. If the wholes are of different size, we can actually properly compare the fractions. So it's important to note, if you're comparing fractions, you need to make sure the whole is of an equal size. So going, if just a little bit is, if this is see, it's this equal size, and I have 1, 2, 3 pieces. It's slightly easier to compare. And now we're going to see actually even better way of actually comparing fractions and even adding fractions, because I'm going to actually say some of the fraction magic that my teacher that I worked with showed me. So stay tuned and I'll come back. Thank you.